Do you enjoy eerie movies? Do you enjoy being scared? You're in luck if you like to dive. The water conceals some of the world's most unsettling locations that you should avoid visiting. Here are a few of the strangest, most unusual, and eeriest underwater locations. If you dare, read on, keep checking back, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. 1. The terrifyingly deep Great Blue Hole. Off the coast of Belize, there is a sizable marine sinkhole called the Great Blue Hole. It is located on Lighthouse Reef's central region, a small atoll 70 kilometers 43 miles away from Belize City and the mainland. The circular hole measures 318 meters, 1,043 feet broad, and 124 meters, 407 feet deep. Its surface measures 70,650 square meters, 760,500 square feet. Several quaternary glacial events, where sea levels were significantly lower, are when it was developed. The Great Blue Hole's stalactites were formed 153,000, 66,000, 60,000, and 15,000 years ago, according to analysis. The cave was inundated as the ocean started to rise once more. The bigger Belize Barrier Reef Reserve System includes the Great Blue Hole. This creepy dark blue circle off the coast of Belize City can be observed without diving into it. Its depth, which is 407 feet 124 meters deep, is what gives this natural phenomenon its color. The hole is a one-of-a-kind diving attraction with extraordinary organisms, including some species of sharks, like nurse sharks and bull sharks. To this day, researchers believe that the hole could provide clues to the Maya civilization's demise. 2. The Devil's Sea is the Bermuda Triangle's twin. It is easy to understand why the Devil's Sea is referred to as the Bermuda Triangle of the Pacific. This region off the coast of Tokyo is also notorious for strange disappearances and shipwrecks, including the motor vessel Derbyshire, the largest ship ever lost at sea. The Titanic was twice as big as this. Ancient Chinese people believed that a massive dragon lurked beneath the ocean, bringing down ships and aircraft before devouring them for its nefarious feasts. Some people claim to have seen phantom ships cruising nearby. 3. The ghostly wreck of the Titanic. At a depth of approximately 12,500 feet, 3,800 meters, 2,100 fathoms, the Titanic's wreck can be discovered around 370 nautical miles, 690 kilometers south-southeast of the coast of Newfoundland. It was first discovered 73 years after it sank in 1912. Its two main sections are separated by about 600 meters, 2,000 feet. Despite degradation and damage from striking the seafloor, the bow is still recognizable and has several interiors that have been saved. The stern, on the other hand, is destroyed. Hundreds of thousands of objects spilled from the ship when she sank and are now scattered in a debris field around the ruins. The crew and passenger remains would have been scattered around the ocean floor, but they have since been eaten by various species. The RMS Titanic wreck provides a terrifying view into what happened after the most well-known maritime tragedy in history. There, more than 1,500 individuals lost their lives, many of them buried beneath the huge ship. Many attempts to retrieve the wreckage from the ocean floor have been made since it was first discovered. Sadly, none of the missions were successful. 4. The mysterious pyramids of the Cuban underwater city. Cuba's undersea metropolis is scary because of its mystery. What took place there? Why is a whole city located more than 2,000 feet under the water? Little information has emerged since its discovery in 2002, leading one to ponder why this hasn't been studied. If so, what discoveries have they made that haven't been made public? 5. Las Cruces de Malapig is an underwater memorial for missionaries killed by pirates. There are 40 stone crosses submerged under the water off the shore of La Palma in the Canary Islands, and they resemble a cemetery. Even though it's not legally true, the burial markers were submerged to remember the 40 Jesuit missionaries who were killed by pirates and dumped into the sea in the 16th century. The missionaries set sail for La Palma, knowing that danger awaited them there. In 2000, locals buried one cross for every monk 65 feet below the surface in remembrance of the martyrs who perished centuries earlier. The underground memorial's creepy ambiance certainly fits this location's awful, dark past. 6. Ghost ships sail on the shoreless Sargasso Sea. The 2,000-mile-long Sargasso Sea, which is right next to the infamous Bermuda Triangle, has no shoreline. Ocean currents define its boundaries. Sargassum seaweed, which is heavy and floats on the water's surface, is all over the ocean. People have occasionally reported seeing abandoned ships from the past floating in the Sargasso Sea. A terrible amount of pollution has been transported to the area by the same ocean currents that carry seaweed there. 7. The SS THISTLEGORM sits at the bottom of the Red Sea. The THISTLEGORM wreck, located 40 kilometers from Sharm el-Sheikh on the west coast of the Sinai Peninsula, is the most well-known and frequent dive wreck in the Red Sea. Following her April 1940 commissioning, the 125-meter-long British Army ship perished after just 18 months. Her final journey began on June 2, 1941, when she set sail for Alexandria with a cargo of military materials during World War II. Tanks, airplanes, armored cars, jeeps, and Bedford trucks are among the extensive inventory. Divers who have the necessary training to investigate this area can sense the tension as they approach the site of submerged tanks, guns, trucks, motorcycles, and other military supplies. Since Jacques Cousteau discovered it in 1955, the wreckage has been a popular destination for explorers and divers. 8. The Mariana Trench is the deepest point on Earth, and we have no idea what is down there. The deepest point on Earth is located in the Mariana Trench. The Challenger Deep, which is 6.83 miles, 10.99 kilometers deep, and the deepest point in the Mariana Trench, has only been reached by 3 humans. In contrast, the majority of marine life exists above a depth of 660 feet. Nuclear submarines cruise across waters at a depth of about 850 feet. Whale sightings are uncommon below 8,200 feet. At 12,467 feet is where Jack and Rose's real, though fictional, love story occurred on board the Titanic. Only 3 divers have ever explored the Challenger Deep, despite thousands of humans having scaled Mount Everest, which is the highest point on Earth. In a U.S. Navy submersible, Jacques Piccard and Navy Lieutenant Don Walsh made the first expedition to the Challenger Deep in 1960. Due to the intense pressure, they could only stay there for 20 minutes, and their arrival churned up too much seabed dust for them to capture any images. The next visitor didn't show up until more than 50 years later, in 2012, when science fiction enthusiast and filmmaker James Cameron solo dived into the Challenger Deep in a submarine he designed. It's hard to blame explorers for having fear because it's completely dark down there. The water pressure there is deadly, and, oh yeah, there are hydrothermal vents that spew forth water that's hot enough to melt your body's flesh. 9. CANCUN Underwater Museum in Mexico. There are more than 470 life-sized sculptures at this dive location. Jason DeCaires Taylor, a talented sculptor and enthusiastic diver, created these interesting statues. The artwork is unsettling even though it is truly amazing to look at. Algae has developed on several of the statues, changing their features and giving them an eerie aspect. Have you had the opportunity to explore any of these unsettling dive sites? Or do you know of any more spooky underwater locations? Please tell us in the comments. 10. Turtle Tomb, SIPADAN in Malaysia. A unique dive location is Turtle Cave. It is a special experience and one of the highlights of diving on SIPADAN Island. The cave's entrance is around 18 meters deep. You travel roughly 21 meters inside the cave before reaching the second chamber. Another tunnel, linking to the dive location Turtle Tomb, is accessible from there. Numerous turtle skeletons are scattered along the cave's length, creating an unsettling image deep inside the reef that has a backstory. Explore the deep cave system and maneuver via a meandering, often dead-end corridor. Numerous turtles and even dolphins have their final resting places inside. Turtle skeletons and shells are dispersed around the cave's floor. Please take notice that this should only be attempted by skilled and knowledgeable cave divers with specialized equipment. 11. Neptune Memorial Reef, Florida. This memorial, which is situated off Miami, Florida, is the biggest artificial reef ever built. Many souls have been laid to rest in this watery cemetery. More and more individuals are cavorting with the fish off the coast of Florida. The remains of hundreds of people can be found at the Neptune Memorial Reef, which is located close to Miami at a depth of 40 feet, 12 meters. Their very personal sculpture is made out of their ashes, cement, and water. You are essentially swimming among the dead as a result of this. But life also exists when there is death. It has been discovered that there are now thousands of people living nearby instead of just one. There are coral and fish species on this reef that were formerly thought to be extinct. 12. Salem Express, Red Sea. One of the Red Sea's most unique dive sites is the Salem Express wreck. The Salem Express was formerly a 100-meter-long automobile and passenger ferry. When she sank on December 17, 1991, it was in the middle of the night while she was completing the journey from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia to Safaga, which was packed with pilgrims leaving Mecca. Although the official death toll from her collision with the Hyndman Reef stands at 470 passengers, many believe the real death toll to be closer to 1,000. It was one of the worst maritime tragedies because only 180 of the passengers survived. Some of the bodies were left in their watery graves even though many of them were rescued. You'll find that a surprising number of the goods on board are in decent shape when you explore the ship. 2 unfurled lifeboats, baggage, cars, and children's toys can all be seen. However, out of respect, many divers decide not to dive at this location. The Salem Express is incredibly thin. The seafloor is 30 meters deep, and the wreck begins at 12 meters. You will need at least 2 dives to fully investigate this enormous ruin. There isn't much fauna near the ship, even after 2 decades submerged. On the shipwreck, some coral is currently sprouting. 13. CHUUK Lagoon, Central Pacific. Previously known as Truk Atoll, CHUUK Lagoon is an atoll at the center of the Pacific. It is a component of the CHUUK state in the Federated States of Micronesia and is located around 1,800 kilometers (970 nautical miles) northeast of New Guinea, FSM. A natural harbor with a size of 2,130 kilometers squared is enclosed by a barrier reef that extends 225 kilometers (140 miles) surrounding it. 820 square miles. The total area is 93.07 square kilometers, 35.93 square miles, and its maximum elevation is 443 meters. Its population is 36,158. With 13,700 residents, Wino City on Moan Island serves as both the state and the atoll's capital and is the largest city in the FSM. The resting places of 60 ships, 275 aircraft, and human remains are in the Subterranean Museum. Operation Hailstone, an all-out attack by the Allies on a Japanese facility in 1944, resulted in the deaths of 3,000 people. As a result, it is the world's largest naval battle cemetery. Due to the possibility of setting off unexploded bombs, the location remained unattended for nearly 25 years. In this spooky dive site, tanks, automobiles, mines, and motorcycles are scattered across the ocean floor. 14. The CORRYVRECKAN maelstrom is a permanent, violent whirlpool. The CORRYVRECKAN maelstrom in Scotland is unlike any other vortex. While most are harmless or brief, it is in a league of its own. It is not only a constant vortex, but it is also incredibly strong, the 3rd strongest in the world according to some estimates. This occurrence can be dangerous depending on how Mother Nature is reacting. The maelstrom can create standing waves that are 15 feet tall when there is heavy wind and tide. You shouldn't be present when it occurs. 15. The remains of a devastating World War II battle at the bottom of the CHUUK Lagoon. The CHUUK Lagoon, the largest Japanese military outpost in the South Pacific during World War II, is stunning from the outside, but eerily eerie inside. Numerous warships and aircraft that were sunk in attacks and carried hundreds of more unfortunate troops to their deaths are submerged. Visitors are greeted by the gruesome sight of wrecked ships and airplanes along with human skulls. Are you prepared for the final one? This is going to scare you a lot. If so, let's move forward. 16. The Bermuda Triangle causes mysterious disappearance. One of history's greatest mysteries in this region, which stretches between Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda, many aircraft and ships have flown or sailed over the triangle over the years have disappeared without a trace. Some have even linked this occurrence to the loss of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. Popular explanations about this maritime region that has engulfed thousands of victims include the existence of extraterrestrial life, powerful tidal waves, Atlantis, and geomagnetic disturbances. Even worse, because comparable instances had occurred close by, numerous authors kept extending the area past the established boundaries. And that takes us to the end of today's discovery. For more videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit the like button. Bye.